Hi, this is Carl with another super success tip for IT service providers. Today I want to talk about selling someone else's dream. Why do I want to talk about that? Well, here's the thing. It's really hard to get motivated enough to be good at selling anything. And it's super hard to sell someone else's vision of success. From time to time, vendors will say, here's how you should run your business. Sell this, bundle it with that, you'll make $1 million. The biggest example right now for the last 5 years has been Microsoft. Sell our software, you won't make any actual money, you'll spend more in labor than you will ever make in revenue, but you're going to be able to sell other services and you'll get points in heaven, and there you got that going for you, which is nice. Okay, great. Nice argument, very good. But if you are not motivated to actually do what's in your best interest and your client's best interest, you will not be successful just pushing somebody else's boxes. Now, back in the day, I used to sell desktops and servers and so forth, and I mostly sold HP. That was my brand. I loved them. I had great experiences with them. I only ever sold business class equipment, so please don't put in the comments that you sold some home piece of crap that was not intended for 24-hour use and you didn't have a great experience. I don't care. I sold business class equipment. It never broke. We never had any problems. Life was beautiful. That was my experience. But I didn't sell it to make HP happy. I didn't sell it because I wanted somebody at HP to get an extra bonus. I didn't do it because I liked my sales rep. I did it because I made money and it was a product that fit with my business model and it was good for my clients. Many people had the same experiences, doubling down, betting on Dell, right? I did not have that experience with Dell, right? But whatever your experience, the point is, you cannot go into something like that and say, I'm going to be the biggest Dell salesman in the country. That and $4.50 will get you a cup of coffee. Nobody cares about being the best salesman for something like that. A lot of times we have this vision in our heads that sales is sort of like what it was like mythically 50, 60, 70 years ago. I'm going to sell Electrolux vacuum cleaners door to door and knock on doors and do demos for people, and they're going to love it, and they're going to buy this, and I'm going to be salesman of the year, and I'm going to get little silver cups every quarter that says I was the greatest salesperson for the whole country for that quarter, and eventually I got a whole trophy case full of little things that I just use for eating ice cream because I have so many of them. That's not the world we live in, right? So don't have this vision that there's any extra bonus points in heaven if you sell more of somebody else's product, especially if your margins are microscopic. I have built, over the years, a pretty decent sized audience. And what I've discovered is that when you get to a certain point, everybody wants to partner with you because your audience is big enough that they believe that if you just say, go buy that, then people will rush over there and buy it. And that's why people hire spokespeople or influencers or whatever. They want to leech off of your audience. But time and time again, what I've discovered is, I like to say, I can bring you the sheep, but if you can't shear them, that's your problem, right? I can get people to go to a webinar. I can get them to sign up. In one case, I had a vendor where we outperformed their expectations of performance by over 10,000%, and they were not happy because everybody signed up for their program. Everybody we talked to signed up for their program, but only a fraction of them actually bought it, engaged in reselling it, and went off and changed their business model around that product. I can get people in the room. That doesn't mean that they're going to take my word and change their business model to fit a random vendor's goals, right? So think about your own business. You're running a small IT company or a medium-sized IT company. What do you sell and why do you sell it? If you don't know why something fits into your bundle, you might consider not selling it. A lot of times we buy things, we put them in the bundle, but they're not necessarily good for the client, good for the business, good for the bigger picture. Your bundle should be built with intention, and you should believe in every product and every service that is in your bundle. You know, a lot of people they'll read my book, Managed Services in a Month, and they'll say, oh, this is it. Here's the formula for success. And they go off and they try to sell my bundle with the pricing that's in the book, which is now outdated, right? But the bottom line is they try to sell my bundle, or they read Cloud Services in a Month and they say, oh, here's the 5-user model. I'm just going to sell that bundle. And many, many people are successful with that, don't get me wrong. But a lot of people realize, we really focus on phone systems, security, compliance, auditing. We have other things that are not in Carl's bundle, and we should have put them into our bundle. You must take the experiences of other people, learn what you can, add your own brand, your own preferences, and make it your own. Because you will only ever have passion for selling something that you have passion about. It's really hard to take somebody else's stuff and say, oh, I'm going to go sell somebody else's stuff. That's why it's really hard for people to sell on commission at stores. You know, you've had the experience. You walk into a furniture store and these people follow you around and they're never more than 8 feet from you and they keep coming over. Can I help you with anything? Oh, I saw you looked at that brown chair, you know, that's also available in black. You're like, I just want to look. Leave me alone. I promise I will get in touch with you when I need something, right? Those people are trying to sell something that they have no passion about. And they're not good salespeople. Most people, myself included, don't like doing sales, right? But I can sell to my audience because it's taken me 15, 20 years to build up a group of people that follow me, that trust me, that know me, that like me, that are interested in having a conversation. And so I get to sell things my way to my people, right? And when somebody else comes in and says, well, let me leech off of your success, well, that may or may not be helpful. What I try to tell them is, I can introduce you to people, but you have to sell them and you have to bring the passion. I can never bring the passion for somebody else's products to what I sell. It's just not who I am. Now, there are professional salespeople, and that's a whole different animal. But if you're watching this video, you're probably not a professional salesperson, right? As a business owner, you have to think about your business and what you believe in. At the end of the day, you can't have something in your bundle that you don't believe in. Because what happens when a client is dissatisfied and they say, why is this in there? And you say, well, I went to a show and it seemed like a good idea and it's only $1 a desktop is my cost and I figured I'd just throw it in there. Well, you kind of junk up your own program. So think about your bundle. Think about your packaging. Think about how you put things together and why it works for you. And don't get distracted when some vendor comes along and says, I've got something you can sell. Because their goal is to push units. Their goal is to push devices, licenses, individual installations, endpoints. They don't care about you. Nothing personal, but they just don't care about you. They don't care about your business. They don't care about your clients. They don't care about your profit margin. They don't care if you're in business 5 years from now. They care about how many licenses you can sell this quarter. Beginning, middle, end. That's what they care about. So don't let them drive your business model. And again, we've seen it time and time again. There are vendors who release something. This is the most amazing thing in the history of the world. This is going to change everything. You should push it. Push, 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 push. And 3 quarters later, it ceases to exist. I'll never forget one time there was this really cool product that we thought, oh man, that is so cool. This is going to be hot. We could see that the social media thing was about to take off, and we're like, we're going to sell the hell out of that. So we signed up to be resellers and so forth and so on. Anyway, bottom line is, this was a little camera thing that was owned by a major top 15 company in the world. And they literally discontinued it because even though they bought it, it didn't sell $1 billion a year, and they were done. And so, you know, our dream that we were going to make a bunch of money on this just fell apart because we were trying to sell somebody else's stuff, right? Sell your stuff. If you're going to sell a desktop bundle, good. I encourage you to do that. I think every quarter you should have a preferred bundle, and it should be your brand of preferred software, hardware, services bundled together, and you should sell that. But it's got to be yours. It's got to be your experience. And if your experience is not having luck with HP, well, then you should sell Dell or something else. If your experience is not having luck with Dell, then you should sell HP or something else, right? You should figure out what works for you and double down on that. And you do have to make some changes from time to time. But the change you can easily ignore is a vendor coming to you and saying, let me make you rich. Because I'll tell you what'll happen. That won't happen. I'd love your comments and questions down below. Like it if you like it. Please subscribe to the channel. For Small Biz Thoughts, this is Carl Polachuk wishing you the best of luck in your IT service business.